Hey, welcome back to my self-discovery journey. As you know, I started reading self-help books by Don Miguel Ruiz. We're here today to analyze one book and certain chapters of that book. The book that we're going to analyze is called The Voice of Knowledge. Here you go. The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz. He's a Mexican American. He's from the language of the Toltec. The Toltec come from a city called Tihuacan in Mexico City, and he refers to that city as of where men become God. He referenced the tree of life, which sits in paradise, but there's also another tree, which is the tree of death. There's a couple of analogies that make this book much easier to understand and comprehend. So the chapter we're going to look at is the Lie of Imperfection. We are always searching for us, because we think we know who we are. Well, guys, guess what? We don't know who we are. People think of us what they want to think, and it's their story of us. We make our own story, and we could change our story when we want to. So, in chapter 3, The Lie of Imperfection, as little kids, we live in authenticity. But as we grow up, we lose that, because we are taught by our parents, grandparents, siblings, and as we go to school, we are taught by teachers, professors, of their concept of life. As we grow up, that concept turns into knowledge, and that's when we get lost in our authenticity, because we become to reason. We don't know who we truly are at all. We're on our own learning path each and every day of the moment of the day. So that's one concept, authenticity, how we lose it as we are grown up, and followed by nobody's perfect. The only one that created us perfect is God. We see magazines, we hear television, we hear radio stations. We think what beauty is, but that's not beauty. What beauty is what lies within us, inside of us. We gotta find inner beauty within us. Silence plays a major role in us. As we talk, as we listen to the message and we interpret it. But the true message comes in the silence of it. That's another concept in that chapter, silence. Followed by we all want to be accepted within ourselves and in social groups. That's when we start self-judging us. Oh, we look ugly, we're not good enough. No, that's no good, guys. We can't self-judge us, and we can make others self-judge us. We are artists. Artists paint pictures And we are like artists, but we are storytellers. We are our main character of our story. We have the right to change our story for our better. Remember, it's our story. It's nobody else's story. People can make their stories upon us, judgments upon us, but what we create is our own story. If we don't like our story, hello, wake up and change. Change for you, not for others. And let's touch on another chapter, which is chapter 6. Talks about inner peace. What? Like I said, he uses a lot of analogies, and this is straight from his book. I quote, "The voice that is loud in our head, we call that thinking. He calls that the voice of knowledge," end quote. As I said, the tree of knowledge is the tree of knowledge and the tree of death. And there's a parasite that lives in the tree, and that's the liar. That's the one that's always putting stuff in our head, making us believe what we don't want to believe. And we gotta be careful of him, because he could overrule our lives, guys. Followed by, like he refers, the liar is a disease. The disease has the symptoms of fear, anger, hatred, sadness, jealousy, conflict. You see, all the negative talk. All the negative talk. We don't need that. We don't need that in our lives, guys. We need positive. We gotta think positive, say positive affirmations to ourselves. As we emit positivity to us, that positivity comes out from us, and people could absorb and be better. And by being a better society, we're gonna have a better world. He also talks about how to tame that inner voice that we have within us. The analogy he uses is when, like how you ride a horse. We could direct the horse by pulling its reins in the direction we want and the speed we want the horse to go. So, it's time to let go those lies that we hear, that we made of lies that we made of ourselves. Let them go. Let go the liar. We don't need that parasite, that worm that eats us up in ourselves. Guys, it's time for change. Let's change for us, society, and let's have a better world. That's a short synopsis of 2 chapters. Maybe I'll come back and do another chapter. If not, I'll touch upon another book by the same author, by Don Miguel Ruiz, called The 4 Agreements. By the way, you guys notice I have beats on me. Those are my beats for meditation. These beads are labradorite. Like I said, I also have a journey with crystals, and I find these relax me. And the bracelet is also labradorite. So there you have the voice of knowledge. It's time for change, guys. Let's change our way of thinking. Let's unlearn what we've learned in the past. Guys, have a blessed evening and peace. Peace be with you. God bless.